The sun's back out. It's the Oaks and the Derby at the weekend, and it can mean only one thing: the return of Silvestre de Sousa, the great man, in the Star Sports Zoom room. Bill, I don't need to give you the big build-up. You do it justice every time you come on. But welcome back, Bill ESDAILE, as well. How are you both?
I'm good, thank you, and I'm just delighted to come back. I missed this meeting.
Come on, there was some great fun last year. You are doing your Batman impression in the back of the car, leaving the hotel room and appearing in a car park somewhere. Is everyone's phones charged? Laptops charged? You ready to go? Ready and raring to go?
We're ready to go.
Well, what I'll do is I'll get a couple of bits of information I need to get in so I don't get told off in the office. But we're running a couple of promotions over the weekend. And Bill, you'll know from the Christmas presents we send out at Star over the years, we send out the Salmon Royale packages. And we're doing them special offer for Royal Ascot. So if you have a bet of up to £200 on the Oaks or the Derby, you'll get a free Salmon Royale package sent to you from us for the Derby, for the Royal Ascot. So that's happening. And also, we're running pipped again. So if you get beaten by less than a neck, we'll give you your money back up to 25 quid. But let's move straight on. It's winners they want, not money back, not fish, not booze. It's winners. And we go straight into the Oaks. Santa Barbara, the 2-1 favourite. Snowfall 4-1. Zadar 9-2. Tiona 5-1. Typical bookmaker versus punter race. All priced up on potential. Santa Barbara, all the rage in the Oaks. She disappointed to come fourth. Sylv, if you could ride one in the Oaks, who would it be?
I'll pick Santa Barbara. And I think after she won, I made it straight to the Classic. It was a big ask, but I'd say she had a bit of time in between. Jumped straight to the Oaks, and she looked like a stayer that day when she ran at Newmarket. So I picked Santa Barbara in my pick.
Who do you think is the main danger? Or do you just think she'll just come on so much for the Guineas that would be the one you'd be with?
Probably Snowfall, and Stable Company. Done really well, and doesn't mean that it's not like Edinburgh have to win, but that's the two horses is the eye catch for me.
Bill, let's talk about this. Santa Barbara, this is the ones I love to say, come on, let's take her on, because it's all about potential. But the step up in trip is probably what she wants, isn't it?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, she's got all the potential in the world. She's only run twice. I actually thought her Guineas run was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought she was up against it a bit in the Guineas. She wobbled around a bit, showed her inexperience. That's the worry with her. Will the track definitely suit? It may do. She's probably the class act in the race. She should stay. That's a big should. Not guaranteed to stay by any stretch of the imagination. And if you look at her close relative, Order Australia, he had to come back in trip having tried a mile and a half. He had to come back to a mile to start winning again. So she's no guaranteed thing. She's priced up on reputation. What she does at home is obviously exceptional. Ryan Moore rides her. She deserves to be favourite. It's just whether you want to be backing her at 2-1, 9-4. If she wins, she wins. She wouldn't be a bet for me because I think she still has a lot to prove. And I never like hugely inexperienced horses around Epsom. But she does set the bar high.
Yeah. I mean, did you think she'd be bigger than 2-1?
I think she will be bigger than 2-1. I think she'll drift. I mean, the stablemate that Frankie rides, Snowfall, did nothing wrong. Snowfall was really good in a slowly run Musadora last time, but the form figures, 2-year-old form figures of 381, 4598 sounds like a telephone number to me. And yes, she's left that well behind at York, but she got the run of the race. She's obviously a better 3-year-old than she was a 2-year-old, and if she gets near the lead here, she'll be hard to crack again. But I would be happy to take both of them on at kind of 2-1 and 4-1 or whatever the prices are at the top of the market. I think there could be a bit of value a bit deeper in the race.
Yeah, I think everyone thinks Saffron Beach won't stay, and I think I'm the only one who thinks she will. So a bit of 9-10-1 her looks value to me. But let's get into the coronation.
Well, we haven't done our tips yet, have we?
Go on then.
Just before you get into coronation, I actually think it's the Aidan other. There's two horses I like in the Oaks that we haven't mentioned. Divinely of Aidan O'Brien's, which is a supposed third string.
I'm the bookmaker, Bill. I was just so happy that we're going to get the front two beat. I was like moving on. It's like, who cares about the others?
Well, the key to Divinely is when Aidan was doing his press conference the other day, he just said she's doing unbelievable things at home. He didn't quite use those words. He said we're delighted with her, and what she's doing on numbers is very, very impressive. And she's obviously working the house down. She went to Lingfield as relatively unfancied and ran fourth in the Lingfield Oaks trial, but she was 25 to 1 a week ago. She's into 11 or 12 to 1 now. I just think she's going to take a huge step forward again at Epsom, and I think she's a bit of value against the other two. I just think she'll run well. And the other thing is there's loads of money around for both of the Roger Varian horses, Zayada and Tiona. They're both 5-6 to 1.
Particularly Tiona, we've seen money for.
Well, Tiona could be anything, and if she learns to settle, she could be a real threat. Zayada looked unlucky at Chester and weaved her way through. But the horse that she finished behind, Dubai Fountain, is 12-14 to 1. Mark Johnson from the front, fast ground. I'd rather take Divinely at 11 or 12, Dubai Fountain at 12 or 14. Have those two each way running for me in what looks a wide open renewal.
You got those two. I've got the one that separates them in the betting, Saffron Beach, and Silver will be proved right and will be proved wrong when Santa Barbara clicks 5-6 clear at the 1 pole. So let's see how we go. We can now move on to the Coronation Cup, and there's probably not been a more exciting horse this flat season than Al Alsi. He heads the market at 5 to 6. Japan, who went close in the Derby a couple of years previous, didn't win as a 4-year-old, but bounced back in the Ormond. It's a 3 to 1 chance. Mogul, who's got a few air miles for his name, having run in the Breeders' Cup, then the Hong Kong Vase, then Maidan, then France, is a 6 to 1 10 pile driver. But I'll come to you, Sil. How exciting is Al Alsi?
Well, he's exciting, but I think Japan is the one for me. It's a nice race to watch. Yes, proven the track, and he's a horse. He got the experience, and the only dangerous horse to me in his Haggis horse is an improving horse, but I still would have Japan as my pick.
Bill, you and I are on the same school of thought. If there's too many sort of variables and unknowns, you'd find it hard to take odds on. And he's never been to Epsom, and some horses can take to it, some can't. That's almost a 50-50 chance. And being odds on is, that's not in your favour, is it?
Yeah, I mean, he was super aggressive the way he won the Al Rayyan Stakes in Newbury. Did it all in the bridle. When horses win like that with jockey looking left and right and cantering. But, to be honest, Logician wasn't fit. Thunderous is what Thunderous is. He hasn't impressed since the Dante last year. The form has to be taken with a pinch of salt. When you go back to the likes of Ranch Hand, he's got to step up again, and he's priced up like he is a Group 1 winner. Everyone said he's a Group 1 winner waiting to happen. He's priced up like he is. So if he wins, it'd be great. He's always been the apple of his trainer's eye. It's his third run. He's a bit of a boy. I think that was how William Haggis described him. I think he's the most likely winner. Sylv mentioned Japan. His form, he only beat Truichan by 3/4 of a length, so he has to step forward again. He lost his way last year, having probably potentially should have won a Derby the year before. So we know he handles Epsom. He's probably on a return mission, so he could go well. I just think there may be a bit of value against these two. The two that kind of caught my eye, Alba Flora, Rafe Beckett's filly. Now she's around a 12-14 to 1 chance. Now she's got masses to improve, but wow, she was so visually impressive at Ascot. As impressive as Al Alsi was, Alba Flora toughed it out in a competitive race and ran right to the line and won it by 7 lengths. She's got to step up again. She has to improve, but she's fourth. She's got Frankie Dettori in the saddle. I thought she was decent. And then, Pile Driver. It was always the forgotten horse, Pile Driver. Yeah. He dogged it a little bit last time, but that was his first run. If you put a line through his Derby run last year, he shouldn't be a double-figure price. But I'd probably, if you asked me for one, I'd go Alba Flora. But it looks a cracking race.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, we all hope Al Alsi proves the superstar that he looks. It'd be great for the sport. But at the prices, Sylv and I will be with Japan at 3 to 1, and you're going to side with Alba Flora at about 9-10 to 1. So that's the Oaks, that's the Coronation. But there are plenty of good races on the undercard. Sylv, this is where you're going to do some damage on the afternoon. You've got some cracking rides. If we nip back to the start, we'll go through in chronological order. In the 2 o'clock, the Woodcut, you ride one for William Jarvis, Maybury, who's a 40 to 1 chance, who looked a bit green on debut at Yarmouth. What can you tell us about him?
Well, I think it's a nice race, but his only young horse is going there. It's just, some horses like 50 to 1 or 20 to 1. I have seen plenty like 2 to 1 shots get beat over there. You just get beat on the track. and I hope my horse, he had a day out, and he can build his confidence for this race. But I still think we've been throwing the deep end, and I think it will be an interesting race.
Bill, do you want to put anything up in the 2 o'clock?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I like the Brighton form here. You don't often hear that sentence there, but I think the two horses, Dusky Prince and Oscula. Dusky Prince for Archie Watson, Holly Doyle rides, was really impressive over 5.5 at Brighton. Did all the running he ran really strong to the line. I thought him around 8-1 was interesting. And Oscula, George Bowie's horse, has been in such good form. That was really impressive last time. I thought those two, they're both around 8-1. I thought I'll take a chance on those two.
Yeah, you beat me to it. Money for the Oscula, George Bowie, locally trained. Well, not locally trained. In fact, he's Newmarket, this is Epsom, but locally to me, seeing his Brighton racecourse is about 3 miles that way. So, there's been good money for him, 8-5 already on the early tissue. In the 2:35, Sylv, bit more of a chance here. You ride Fox Duty Free, who's a 7-1 chance, who's moved to Rafe Beckett, ran up a sequence on the all-weather. It's not really kicked on for him this season, on a slight recovery mission, but 6-7-1, he'd have every chance here.
Well, I thought he ran a good race, probably consider he didn't like the ground last time out in Thirst, and he has a lot to do, and probably he got tired on the ground. All his winner come in the all-weather. Usually a horseman wins in the all-weather. He likes fast ground, so, and I'll give his chance. He's not the easiest horse to ride. He has his quirks in the past, but I think it's an open race. Probably the top horse, Hagel's horse, is the main dangers there, but I'll give him a chance.
Bill, all the money for Irish Admiral, 9-4 into 7-4 already this evening. Can you find anything at a price?
Yeah, I think the danger might be a horse that Sylv knows quite well called Mostawa, who's he's partnered a couple of times this season already. Straightforward, go from the front. When the ground gets decent at Epsom, sometimes hard to pick horses up. There's no one that rides Epsom better than Sylv. I'm not just saying that because he's on this call. But often when you get a tune out of a horse up front around Epsom, they can be very hard to reel in when the ground is quick. And I think Mostawa might take some pegging back here.
Cool. 3:45, no ride for Sylv or me or you, Bill. Would anyone like to put up the winner of the 3:45? There's been all the money has been for Blue Cup, and bits and pieces of each way money around for Straight of Hormuz is an 8-1 chance. Blue Cup 4-3.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say on Blue Cup is the money for him is the fact he's got a first-time hood. He's trained by a really good trainer in David Menuzier, and you're going back on one piece of form 2 starts ago, where at Epsom he found no daylight and finished on the bridle, and he looked really unlucky, but he wasn't so good last time. He'll be very well found again in the market. Ocean Murphy rides. I think he's a swerve. That's famous last words because he could win it. But I quite like 2 here. I like Dream With Me, Mark Johnson, Ben Curtis from the front. Hard to peg back. Looks a really good improving horse. I think he'll start close to favoritism. I think he'll go really well, Dream With Me. And a course specialist, Data Protection. David Egan takes over from Nicola Curry. Looked a bit unlucky at Chester, but that was a good prep for this. Gone well at the track before. I thought those 2 would go well.
Perfect. Right, flying through, quickly finish off the 5-10 Sylv. This is your big chance on the day. I thought Mystery Smiles, who ran a belter in the Craven, ran slightly flat in the Guineas, would you say? Drops back down and tripped to 7 furlongs. 4-1 second favourite. Memento, the one to beat. How is he?
Well, he was disappointing for sure for me in the Guineas. He put such a good run in at the Craven. I had a bit of doubt he would stay, but he ran well in the Craven, but he never turned up in the Guineas. And now we're stepping down in grading, so I hope he can do better. But he's a horse we always like, but last time and he's just disappointing. But I just hope we can put that running behind and come with the bet of him.
Good. Well, good luck. We'd like to see him bounce back, and he's got all the ability in the world. Bill, most likely winner for you?
Yeah, I think Sylv. I think Mystery Smiles. I think Memento will be a short price favourite. You've got to forgive him a bad run in France. He was very good. If Memento arrives here in the form that saw him just touched off by Chindit in the Greenham, he'll be hard to beat. But I think Sylv has the key with the first-time visored Mystery Smiles.
Okie dokie. And let's just wrap up in the 545. No prices yet. Not 545, sorry, the 540. No prices yet, but you've picked up a ride with Charlie Hill's doula, Sylv. Can you just give us a little insight into him?
Yes, and the ground last time when he won was proper soft ground, and he coped very well. Obviously, we don't know how the ground going to be at Epsom, but I think he won with a little bit in hand, and and I like the horse, and I even had another ride in the race called Roscommon. I was a bit like, it's a hard decision, but I think I wouldn't swap my ride now.
Perfect. Bill,
Yeah,
wrap up the Friday for us, please.
Doulas will be favourite, and he seems very versatile ground-wise. He was second off a mark of 80 at Haydock first time up to put stablemate Persuasion on fast ground. So ground, track, everything should be okay. 7 furlongs is fine. I mean, the track is the question mark, of course. But like Sylv says, I think they're the two. I think Doulas and Roscommon, and I think Sylv is probably on the right one.
Perfect. Well, I've made cases why I think both the favourites will get beat in the Oaks and the Coronation. No surprise there. Sylv, you think Japan will win the Coronation, and the Oaks look set to be a cracking renewal. And if Santa Barbara proves to be the horse that everyone thinks she can be, it will be well worth the watch. But that's Friday. That's the Oaks Day. Sylv, thanks for your time as always. Bill, you too. We really appreciate your time and your input. And I'm sure you'll be putting up plenty of winners all summer like you did all winter. Good luck to both of you on the Friday afternoon.
Thank you.